Here's left. Pulls up, looking for the lead, and he got it. Jalen Williams, 2 seconds, 1:11.109. Now SGA, probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down. The Thunder finally get the defensive stop, and SGA puts them in front.
I'm Kenrich Williams. You're listening to Topic Thunder.
It's a W, boys. That is a W, boys and girls. Good evening. Hello, Alex. Hello, everyone in chat, in the live chat. Welcome. We had ourselves a game tonight that really took the sting off of the news from early this morning, late last night. Before we get into the game, which we'll get into in just a moment, last time we were here, we didn't know the Chet injury details. I think we were hoping for like a few games. If you are a Thunder fan of any kind, you've already seen the news. I'm not going to go through all the details again, but it is going to be a couple months until Chet is back. Tuesday, we will talk about what we should expect long term and all of that stuff. We'll break that down all in the pod. But point is, he wasn't here tonight. We're playing with a small ball lineup. Not a single person was above the height of 6'6" on this team. It was Shai, Dub, Joe, Wiggins, and Dort. And they were like, Dub, you're going to play the 5. You're not going to get rebounds as much, but you're going to do it. And Dub was like, I'm going to do it. And it's fine. We did also see Kenrich get back. Real Loki in the chat just mentioned it. Yes, Kenrich returns tonight as well. Very good timing, all things considered. But yeah, that was needed. His minutes were very valuable. Thunder won in Paycom tonight, 134-126, against all the odds, against all the injuries, against all of the freak accidents that happened leading up to tonight. We got the win. There was a lot of fun and positive and good things we're going to talk about. And if you have things in the chat, let me know. I'll go ahead and maybe throw it up on the live. You can see you guys selves over there if we get some more trickling in. We got to start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. Now, we all knew this was coming. The same thing happened from Denver to Houston. Denver, not a good game. Houston, unbelievable, unguardable. Last night, Warriors, not his greatest game offensively. Tonight, a career high 45 points on 13 of 21 shooting, 4 of 8 from 3. He's still taking these threes, and they are hitting now. He had 9 assists, 5 steals. In general, the turnover battle was awesome. But 5 steals and 2 blocks. There was a point where he was looking at a 5x5 potentially. What a game from Shai. It's hard to I was trying to think about how to word this before coming on here. I don't think it's that he's not playing his best or choosing to play his best these previous games we've seen, but it definitely felt like after Chet went out, it felt like there was this energy of we're the dogs again. Like not dogs and like we're dogs, but like we're the underdogs again. And it felt like not just the whole team, not just Shai, but the whole team. It felt like we are going to prove them wrong. We're going to prove whoever is out there saying we can't do this wrong. And Shai specifically did that tonight. I don't know if the threes at the rate that he's shooting them and are going to be that sustainable. But he was hitting them tonight, but even regardless of the shooting, the outside shooting, the the shots he usually makes, those mid-range shots, were hitting at the clip you expect them to, that you were I was at least frustrated about last night. Shai was unbelievable. He had to be unbelievable because that was the only way we were going to win this game, with all of that overcome. The rebounding battle, just the fact that Zubac is like a foot taller than anybody else and you can just throw it up to him. So many points were happening for the Clippers in that second half, at least that way. Alex is asking, how would you adjust our 3-point defense, or do you let the other teams let them fly? I actually thought the 3-point defense was pretty okay at the worst times. I think in general is pretty good. I could be wrong on that. I'm not the best analyzer of that. But I thought Norman Powell was just ethereal tonight. Especially, obviously, the first half he struggled, but he ended up 5 of 8, and I think all of those were stuff. Those threes were just so insane, dude. It was like he had that one shot at the end of the third quarter that was like the Kawhi buzzer beater in that 76ers Raptors game where he like fell to the side on the corner. I mean, that's just made it. It's just everything was hitting for him. So I don't really think the 3-point defense, again, this is just my opinion, I didn't think that was that bad. I just thought they were making some ungodly shots in the second half, specifically Norman Powell. Derek Jones Jr. also went 4 of 5. Coffee went 3 of 5. So, I mean, yeah, but 3-point defense is also not something I'm always the best at looking at. So I could be wrong there. Yeah, without a rim protector, can't let them drive, so it's probably something we have to live with. Yeah, that makes sense. No rim protector. And we're not going to have one for a couple weeks until Isaiah Hartenstein gets back. Every Thunder fan is just looking at the calendar, counting down the days. It feels like every win up to when he gets back is a steal, especially a team like the Clippers. I still think the Clippers are a good team. I know their record doesn't show it. 6-5 is, not a great record, but I still think they are a better team than 6-5, even with Kawhi out. So, yeah, Shai was, to get back to that, Shai was just, that was the best. It was obviously career high. It's the best game he's had in his career, but I think just that's what you expect. That's like, this is the MVP guy that we're looking for every game. And so I have no reason to believe he's not going to continue to do that. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, was the other guy that before this game, we were like, he needs to step up. He is now the number 2 guy definitively without Chet. And he stepped up. He did it. He was aggressive. He was energizing, as he always is. 28 points, 11 of 16, 2 of 3 from 3. 2 steals, 8 rebounds as the center. I mean, you take that. Zubac ended up with 4 rebounds on the other side, which is, to me, like kind of what I expect. I think that's like a loss in any way. He had 6 assists too. Like that last shot at the end, the hammer to really end it. He had another one. I think it was I want to say it was the third quarter, where he just kind of like screamed. It's the first time I think I've seen him scream this season. Got the crowd hype. Sharif, even more faith in small ball. Yeah, I mean, small ball, they made it work. I think even if you look at like the things in this game that you might consider not sustainable, like we had just said, the Shai threes, 4 of 8, don't know if that's sustainable. You look on the other side, and the Clippers were shooting over 50% from three. They made 20 threes tonight. And again, part of like what Real Loki said in the chat, they're probably letting more of those threes go because they don't have a rim protector. They have to adjust somewhere. They made 20 threes. And this is like a good defensive team. 20 threes on this team, you would think, oh, that's probably not going to go well in our favor. And it made it work. They scrapped it together with what they had and got it done. Just so impressive. Yeah, MVP Shai is back and J-Dub stepping up. It is happy days. That is what you wanted tonight. You wanted that energy. You wanted that shift, because last night, like, I know they came back in that fourth quarter, but the energy was low for a good reason. You're worried about it. They came out tonight with the energy they absolutely had to have. That's just like a culture thing. Like that's like something that happens here more than other places. Like that type of having the mentality to go out there and do exactly what you need to do and execute the game plan exactly as you wanted. A couple other guys. I'll kind of jump around a little bit here, but dude, like Isaiah Joe is not just moonballs and threes anymore. This guy is a multi-tool player. He is able to create turnovers on his own, just like all of these other guards that we always laud over, like Caruso and Kaysen and Dort. Like he can do that too. Granted, not in the same intensity or the rate, but he's capable of doing it. Like he had it tonight. He was getting turnovers. I think he had 3 steals, but I honestly thought he could have gotten like 4 or 5. But even 3 steals for Isaiah Joe, like that is so awesome. You have him as a knockdown shooter, but he's also just got this other tool. And he's not even offensively just a knockdown shooter. He's getting to other spots on the floor and hitting them with ease. Like these mid-range fade shots he's hitting look like he's comfortable with that. That was just, we've seen it here and there, that type of offense from Isaiah Joe, but I think it just really stood out because of, I guess, probably a little bit of the impact it did have when he did make them. Also recorded a block. I don't remember when that block happened, but, shout out Isaiah Joe. Trying to see what quarter. I guess that was the first quarter. I missed the first quarter, so it's probably when that happened. Speaking of good blocks, though, Aaron Wiggins, oh my God. What a block in the fourth quarter. There was a defensive play that just each sequence was so perfect, because it was, I believe the first part was Harden, and it was just him driving and kind of losing the ball. I think it was Shai that tried to pick him, and it went off on Shai, but they get the ball back again in the inbounds pass, and it's KPJ on Dort. Dort's riding with him the whole time, but when he gets to the rim, there's Aaron Wiggins and just like swats it. And at that point, there's like 0.8 seconds left. And for some reason, Harden he had it Zubac in the, like right underneath the basket and didn't throw it to him, which was hilarious. He threw it to the corner 3, who didn't even get it off. But the point was that Aaron Wiggins' block in that sort of sequence was just so good. He's so good. He's so good on defense. Aaron Wiggins, he's saving basketball. He had a nice like tap in, like just those little things that without Chet you need those extra offensive rebounds, those tip ins. He had 2 threes as well. I mean, he put it in 29 minutes, and it was like he was a plus 17 in 29 minutes, the highest plus minus score of this team. I think that shows you a lot. I know plus minuses don't mean everything all the time, but I do think they tell a story in small sequences. The next person in terms of plus minus, which again, I don't know if this factors anything, but from the eyeball test, I thought it did. I think someone mentioned in the chat, Kenrich Williams. He's back, and We got his first offensive foul call drawn, like drawing a charge, just like Kenrich Williams doing Kenny Hustle things. He went 1 of 3. He misses only 3, but like just filling in the gaps when he needs to, making plays that are positives. So shout out Kenny, welcome back. Caruso, like the 2 threes were the thing I was just most excited about. He didn't hit his last 3, I think he started 2 of 2. So he kind of cooled off there at the end. But just, you need him to be making those just to keep the defense honest. Only 1 steal, but like his impact is obviously more than that. I thought he had a couple of calls that were obviously foul calls, but like could have, just missed a little bit and got his arm, and could have easily been another steal, another turnover. So just, didn't do as well in that department, but nothing too worrisome about him. And then finally, just, last guy I want to mention is Lou Dort. Lou Dort defense on Harden tonight was exactly how he's been on him in his career, just near perfection. He did get into a little bit of foul trouble, as did a lot of people today, which was a little bit odd. I think there was like 4 or 5 people that ended up with 5 fouls at the end. And then Norman Powell fouled out, which I did forget to mention. That was a huge part of the game. Norman Powell fouled out, I think, with under 2 minutes in an inbound play too. So I think it was also a free throw. So that call was massive in that moment because of how well Norman Powell was shooting. He was unbelievable. So not having him late in the stretch, I think, was a huge advantage for the Thunder. Big disadvantage for the Clippers. But yeah, Dort, like I said, was in foul trouble too. And despite that, like the last play of the game, leading up to that last bucket to seal it, the defense on Harden was perfect. He didn't draw a foul. He didn't reach. Harden tried to, throw his hand into Dort's. They didn't call it, as they should have. Harden just kind of fell over because he wasn't in control. Dort just did just grabbed the ball, jump ball. They didn't have any timeouts because they just used it on the challenge for Dwight Powell's foul that fouled him out, which clearly was a foul, but I get why they challenged it. And didn't have a timeout, so it was a jump ball. Lou Dort wins the jump ball, game over. I mean, we have possession, we go down and score, it's over. But that defensive possession by Dort was so huge. But he was doing that all night. Harden was so inefficient. He ended up 5 of 15. And didn't even have that many free throws. Like, he wasn't getting to the free throw line. And I don't think it's because they weren't calling the calls. I think he just, Dort and this defense know how to play Harden and not let him take advantage of the ref's whistle. And Shai does, by the way. Shai was doing that the entire game. And if you're a Clippers fan, you're probably going to argue he's baiting these calls or whatever. Sure, whatever. I don't care. He's getting fouled, so they're going to call it. It's tell your guys to stop fouling him, but he's getting those calls, and Harden was not. So I don't know what to tell you, dude. Who's going to be third in scoring the next 5 games? From Alex. Good question. Yeah, it's Dub and Chet, or Dub and Shai. I got Chet on my mind. Lou Dort's 3-point percentage, man, makes me want to move in that direction. I think he's now up to, I want to say 42%. Let me see if it's updated. This is really not updated. It says we're 8-1. Okay, yeah, it hasn't updated since today, but prior to today, he was 45. He's hitting 2.2 on 4.9 attempts, and then you factor in tonight, what was it? 4 of 8. Yeah, there's that 3-point shot bump is something. So it makes me think that he could be number 3. If it was gun to my head, that's probably who I'm going to pick. I think Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins will have their moments where they can produce a little bit more, but I think consistently over the 5-game period, I could see Lou Dort being the guy. So I would go with him for sure. But yeah, there's just a lot of positives. So anyway, we'll dive more into all the deets on our full pod tomorrow live. Yeah, I appreciate the turnout. Thank you all if you were in the chat. Like I started at the top, Chet is going to be out for a while. We're going to be throwing in these lineups for the next, probably till the end of November, and going to be waiting on Isaiah Hartenstein. The options for Chet in terms of like how we manage, I have my thoughts. I think I'm going to save him for Tuesday, a little teaser, come back tomorrow, and the other guys will have their thoughts as well, because that's going to be the major point of discussion. Nice one to put things back on track a bit. I agree, Anthony. Best place to get nachos. I've had good nachos lately. Oh, I had him from, what is that place? Did I have him from there? The taco, crap. I don't remember the name. It's that friggin', isn't it like a local taco place? I'm just going to see if I can just search OKC tacos and see if it pops up. It didn't pop up. Fuzzy's tacos, that's what I'm thinking of. I went from Fuzzy's. It was pretty good recently, so I'm not a big nacho guy, I guess. I don't really have nachos a lot. I do if I'm like out, but like I don't order them like on a regular basis. That's probably the best one I've had. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow for the pod, but the next game is Wednesday, kind of a weird time, 6:30, still at home. Still going through the home stretch, which is nice, against the Pels, the injured Pels. So makes it a little bit more manageable without Zion out there, but obviously not as fun. You don't want your number 2 team, your B team out. Your B team out there, but that's the reality of the situation. So we'll look to steal another one. It's just these games before Isaiah Hartenstein, like I said, they just feel like steals, and tonight was a steal. So appreciate you guys tuning in to the live. If you are here right now, make sure to like the video. I think it's like there, or there, one of those two. There's a subscribe button down there too, so make sure you hit that subscribe button too. We are closing in on 800. It's been a grind. This first 1,000 subs are the hardest ones, but we are closing in on 800. So help us get there. And if you are also here, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me comment. If you got to the end of this video, comment, Shai is so good at basketball. I can't believe that I have to even type this for you to believe it. And then after that, give me your favorite nacho place. So what Alex said, give me your favorite nacho place too. You don't have to type that exactly, but if you're thinking of something in a comment, there you go. Help the algorithm. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Normal time, 9:30-ish p.m. So we'll be back tomorrow. All right, see you again.